Hey, it's Dave and Rich again from houseparents.com, and as you can see outside, it's a little chilly here. If it weren't for our bubbler, all of that would be encased in ice, but basically that lake there gets 20 and 40 feet deep, and it's frozen. And because of the freezing cold, we actually had an issue crop up the other day that, well, we'll go outside and show you. We had no water coming out of our pipes, and we want to show you how we went about diagnosing the issue. So we came over to the sink, and normally this would just work by tapping it, and we got nothing. And it was like, oh, what do you do? So actually in this house there are lines that run in an exterior wall, which is a no-no, but it's how they built the house 30 years ago. And so in this room, those are exterior running pipes, or in an exterior wall. And so what we tried to do is see if we had water in another room. So we went in this bathroom where we know the water is in this room, in this wall against the garage, and we got no water on that one. So now we know that there's some kind of issue from this place and this place that's blocking it. Here's our we call it the octopus. It's all our PEX lines coming in. These are your two main lines coming in, and so my curiosity was, well, is it with these lines that run up through here by an exterior wall that's causing the problem, or is it, you know, somewhere from here on that's the problem? So what we did is we went into this bathroom, which has short runs and all interior plumbing, and so we tried this faucet, and this one didn't work. So we knew then that the problem was from either the beginning of that manifold on back to where the water comes into the house. Knowing where your plumbing lines run is super important because it gives you a way to diagnose, okay, what lines, you know, where the problem originates. So now we went back to where the water comes in to the basement from the street. When we found out that we didn't have water in the interior bathroom, that tells us that the problem then has to be from the mana block back to where it comes into the house or further on. And so this just becomes a matter of eliminating the possibilities. This whole house we've replumbed, and so it has PEX piping everywhere except one spot here, and that's where it comes into the house originally. And so we knew that this is probably the most likely direction to look. Knowing where your plumbing is where it runs throughout the house is super helpful, because then you can diagnose where the problems actually, you know, might occur. And so this is our main line that comes into the house, and it breaks off into PEX up here. But this is our main line, and so this line comes from the exterior wall and runs outside to the meter. In this area, meters are stuck outside. I think it's a really dumb way to do things, just because of our problem as it turned out. But anyway, we looked at this pipe. This pipe, what didn't seem frozen, there were no bursts in it. And so if there's no bursts and there's no water running out here, the next obvious place to look is the meter. So then we went out to the meter. Okay, so after we trace everything in the house, everything looked like it should be functioning in there. The last place to check would be the water meter. And we did a little search online, and a frozen water meter is fairly common, especially when they're outside like this. When you take a look at this, and you can see our solution was twofold. The water meter just sits in this pit. When there's not a lot of water running in the house, it just tends to do what it does in real cold weather, and got frozen. Thankfully there was no bursts anywhere in there, so our job was just to heat things up as quick as possible. Our short-term option was to take the hairdryer, and basically all you do is plug it in, let it hang in the hole, and then put the top, just let it hang upside down in the hole, put your manhole cover on there. And what it's going to do is just recycle that air in there and just heat it up and heat it up and heat it up. Sure enough, we did this as a short-term measure, and within 5 minutes we already had water running inside the house. We thought we were good, and then sure enough it happened again, both times when there was no one at the house for a couple days, and we've had some super bitter cold temperatures around zero. Anyway, This time Rich went out and got heat tape. And it's basically a flat tape. You wrap them around the pipes and the wires themselves get warm, and it just keeps it all, it's metal there, nice and toasty till the temperature breaks. And we've been here, we were here all last winter, never had this issue, but this winter it's just a lot more cold, and so it's a bit of a problem. All right, this is what we used. It's called water pipe heat cable. It has a built-in light, indicator light, because when you first plug this in, your hands are cold, but the cable warms up slowly, and so you want to know that it's on. And then on the back here, if you look at this right between my fingers, you can see how they suggest running the cable or heat tape around the pipe, and then these they fasten it. We ended up buying something that is a fatter tape that you can use. We got 12 foot. 12 foot is more than enough for what we needed. They have it up to like 30 feet, but you can get that in any of your big box stores. Okay, one more thing you can do as a preventative measure. The reason the pipes freeze, especially if you have a water meter out there, is that the water just is sitting there. And it's happened to us both times when there's been a length of time when no one's been using the water, that the water outside just sits and has a better chance of freezing. So if you let water just basically drip out of the faucet of just a little more than like that, like a good steady drip, it'll let water continually move in the pipes, and it'll make it a lot harder for it to freeze. That's a short-term solution because that'll just run up your water bill. But a higher water bill for a little bit is better than a pipe that's frozen and burst. This house has pipes that run out through an exterior wall, which is never ideal, but sometimes you have it. It's what you bought, the house that you have. So a simple solution is just go ahead and leave your cabinet doors open during a real cold spell, and that allows just more of your regular temperature air to flow all the way to the back of the cabinet. Again, another preventative measure for those bitterly cold days. One thing, if you ever have this problem, if you're trying to get this water meter cover off, they have these unique 5-sided bolts. So you need a special socket that goes on this, and they sell them at your big box hardware stores. Or you can put it's recessed a bit, so it makes it a challenge, but you can put a monkey wrench on there and move it. But anyway, it's probably worth the $10 or $15 for the socket in case that ever happens. Anyway, hope this helps with your plumbing woes. Hopefully you get a little heat tape or a hair dryer on it, and you get that done before the pipes burst. Please subscribe. If you like this video, give us a thumbs up. See ya.